Alright, we're on section 12.2, page 181. Page 181. 12.2, this is surface area. You're going to see me abbreviate that with SA pretty much all the time from now on, of solids. So page 181 talks about, hey, a wooden box is painted green all over. Excuse me. And that talks about the fact you've got a wooden cube measuring 5 centimeters on each side. Find the surface area. So they're talking about, hey, draw the net of that. If you remember from reviewing 12.1, if you haven't already reviewed 12.1, go look over 12.1. It kind of gives you an idea of what a net is. But you're basically unfolding that net on all sides of the cube and saying, hey, how many of those sides do I have so that I know how to find the area of each section. So we know these are all 5 by 5. They're all squares, so they're all the same size. And how many squares do we have? 6. So basically, you're just doing 5 times 5 times 6. You can do them in any order you want. You could do 5 times 5. I don't know what 25 times 30 is off the top of my head. No, actually, I could figure that out. So you could say you've got 25 times 6. I don't know 25 times 6 off the top of my head. What if I do this in a different order? If I make this 30, 3 times 5 is 15. It ends up becoming 150, and that's how I can figure it out. And then the label is centimeters squared. So again, realizing that multiplication is commutative. You can multiply in any direction that you want. As long as everything is multiplication, you can move them all around, shift them all around. So I look and say, hey, 25 times 6, I don't know that as well. Although maybe you do say to yourself in your head that you know how to figure that out, because there is a way to figure that out relatively easy as well. You can do 25 times 4 and then 25 times 2. 25 times 4 is 100, 25 times 2 is 50. Add them up, you get 150. Or you can say, hey, 5 times 6 is 30. 3 times 5 is 15. Add the 0. Centimeters squared. That's probably a little bit easier way of doing it. Whatever works for you. Just make sure you know you have those options. So the basic thing to remember is, and make sure you are starring this, circling it, whatever else, surface area of a solid. This is true for all solids. Find area of each part of the net and add up. That's it. Find the areas of each part of the net, add them all up, then you're going to have the surface area of the whole net. Pretty simple that way. If you look then to top page 182, it's got a rectangular prism 4 by 12 by 8. We're going to call that good enough. I know it's not very good. But 4 by 12 by 8. So basically the big thing you got to remember if you're looking at here, you can say, hey, I'm going to make, hey, here's one net, that's a 4 by 12, another 4 by 12, because this is going to be 4 by 12, and that back one's going to be 4 by 12. So I got 4 by 12, and there's 2 of them. I've also got this one, 8 by 4. But I've also got this 8 by 4 over here, so I've got 4 by 8, and there's 2 of those. And then I've got these ones on the top here, which is going to be 12 by 8. And there's 2 of those. Eventually you'll get to the point where you can just be like, hey, if I've got a 3D one, I do 4 by 12, do that twice. 12 by 8, do that twice. 4 by 8, do that twice. That is what it all boils down to. If you've got a rectangular prism like this, if it's a square prism, if it's a square or a cube like the last example we did, then it is as simple as just saying, hey, there's 6 sides and each of them is 5 by 5, 5 by 5 by 6. But for these ones, you've got to say, hey, I've got those, I've got those, I've got those. So 4 by 12 by 2, by 2, by 2. You could also say I'm going to multiply. You can just say, hey, I'm doing 2 times 4 times 12 times, oh sorry, plus 2 times 4 times 8 plus, what was that, 8 by 12 by 2? 8 by 12 by 2. Again, I look and see, hey, what's the easiest thing for me to multiply? Well, I guess I can do this at 8. 8 times 12, I think, is 92, I believe. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 2 is, ooh, actually, that's a, well, I guess I might have to do it that way. 16. 16 times 12, I'm going to look in the book because I don't know that one off the top of my head. Ends up being 192. Add all of them up, and you're going to get, let me double check to make sure. Yeah. Add them all up, and you're going to get 352 inches squared. Just have to add up each of the different sides. Alright, then you guys can start guided practice 1 and 2.